We got the CEO back in the reins. We got the NPC making NPCs, and we got Exceed leading the charge with the Royal Ravens.
Don't rotate anywhere new just yet. All this and more coming up next. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Rotate News' first episode of 2026. We're excited to have you. I'm Pooh.
And I'm Spoony.
Man, some crazy upsets in this week 3 of matches, man.
Yeah, it's been absolutely wild. We got the Surge getting their first map win, their first reverse sweep, and their first game winner on the back of TJ Halley. I don't know what's going crazy over there, but I can't wait to talk about that. But before we do, let's hop into the top 5 plays from this weekend.
Yeah, Paris going to work themselves around the backside of Dojo. Last 5 seconds. Got to find a way to contest. Got to find a way to break. Beans will drop. Max stun lands right into the mix. He finds the first bird. He's able to find some help from Afro. Envoy keeps the play alive. Still contesting. Afro gets taken out of the hard point. One more chance. It's got to be on the Sim, who's in the contest corner. He's able to find one win. Follow up from...
Just making sure they have someone near this part of the map, but Exceed's gonna hit 2 with the snipe. It's his turn. He hits the 3rd as well. Exceed, welcome back, brother.
Fritz, because you've got 2 players and Thieves who can now defend against the bomb. Joe's gonna run out a little bit of time here. Is he able to transfer though for 2? Does he get the... Oh! Sure does! And now it's just down to 1. Kenny trying to come back. Can he get here to stop the bomb from being planted? No, because Jonas Siege has got this thing close to over.
Yeah, first time they win the rotation. This time, Paris hoping no one jumps off the map, but at least have one player spawning towards the backside, but everybody else on the front is getting cut down. Mackenzie melts on 3 in a row, popping takeover in his final moments of map number 1. They cannot win here, but he's creating so much space that they can't even get close. My word. Oh!
Push through this. Did Afro see this to give Paris the edge?
Now you got top mid, you got bottom green control, but you...
And Beans has got a sub to play with as well.
Oh!
A little quick swap! Oh! Unbelievable from Beans!
Aim assist or not, I mean, that was freaking disgusting. I mean, Beans with the 1v2 essentially with the sniper to seal the deal on that map 2, carrying some great momentum into that map 3, but let's go ahead and take a look at the standings from this weekend. We've got some movement, Pooh. I'm looking at LA Thieves dropping 3 positions after this weekend.
Yeah, man, Black Ops 7 full of Omni movement, and these standings, man, full of movement 3 weeks in. I'm looking at the Ravens, though, going up 3 positions. Hey, Phil the Thrill's a super fan from the jump, but
what do you know?
Fly, Ravens, fly. They're flying up to the top. I'm calling it here first. I think they're going to make winners if they continue this form. That's a crazy take, but you never know.
Yeah, I believe it too. I went 2-0 on my predictions with the Ravens. Not to shout myself out, but I'm going to do it. But hey, Falcons and FaZe also making movement to the top. We got 2 advancements in those positions for those guys over there.
Yeah, and these are 2 rosters that start putting the wheels together. It's starting to click. I was kind of riding the Falcons going, I think they're going to come out strong here. I wasn't sure about FaZe with all the drama that's going on, and both these teams making their placements, moving up. They're looking good, man.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking great. And a team that's kind of looking good, kind of not looking good, but did secure winner's bracket. We got Optic Gaming at the top. They're looking good. Optic Texas, you know, they're securing their winner's bracket placement. They're going to love that, but they have a lot of work to do. But I don't want to get too much into it without talking about these matches, match by match. So let's throw it into Friday. And let's get started.
So I talked very highly about this team in the resolutions video. I said that they need to come out hot in 2026, and I said that they probably were going to. Spoony gave me some weird looks, but I think I know ball when it comes to the Falcons. They're going to take on G2 and win 3-2 in a very interesting fashion. And the reason I say this is you've got 3 players who basically go neutral. Celium, Kismet, Pred, dropping just a little bit over 1.0s, and Exit's going to drop a 0.95. Having some pop-off moments there, but regardless, they're going to get the dub. They're figuring it out to win these series. I'm looking at these hard points, though. I'm seeing 250 to 234 and 250 to 249. Close ones. And if this team can figure it out, it might be a scary team.
Yeah, no, I got to admit, they're looking good. Prophetic Pooh did make a return with that pick. But you got to say, there's been some green in that Falcons camp. You got positive KDs. You got the mega bag salaries. And they might just be cooking up something good over the next couple weeks before this major one. But you got to look at the match of the day here going into this next one. We got the Carolina Royal Ravens versus the Miami Heretics. I mean, what an interesting series. We got the news about Slasher over the weekend. I made my picks about the Royal Ravens based on him, and man, I couldn't have been on the money more, but it wasn't on the back of Slasher. It was on the back of Exceed coming in. The Burger King, he was cashing in, he was clocking in. He's a manager now. He's running the store. He was absolutely popping off against this team. But I got to highlight Rencore dropping a 1.14 for the loss to the Ravens. The Ravens take it 3-1. And I'm a little excited. Again, I got this fire for this Royal Ravens team. I'm on the back of Phil. Phil the Thrill. I think he had a good pick at the beginning of the year. And I just think it's going to be a fun team to watch. But hey, Friday was good, but don't even get me started on Saturday. Let's take a look at these matches here, Pooh. Well, right off the rip, what stands out to you about Saturday?
I mean, Saturday, we have to pick a match of the day, and I'm sitting here and going, I think it was just a match day of the weekend. I don't know who to pick.
Seriously.
I'm looking at these series, so many storylines, so many things that could have gone right for some teams that didn't go right. I'm looking at Optic Face. This is a series to me that you got two super teams, El Clasico, right? Coming in, a lot of history on the line, a lot of smack talking scrims on the line. Shotzi, what are we doing there, kid?
What are we doing? We got to stop that.
We're putting poster board fuel on the wall. Stop it. Stop. Also, NPCs making NPCs. Why? It was G8 for a reason. Let's not use it. But this series, man, two teams that needed to make a statement. You had Optic coming in, trying to break a series record, a win record, and trying to continue that momentum. And you have FaZe, all the drama with the org, all the drama with the Aluka signing. And here it is, Optic looks flat. It is a dead heartbeat. They show no signs of life and get absolutely steamrolled. And this is coming from an Optic fan going, okay, who is this team? Now, we've seen Optic go 0-18 and win champs. So Optic fans, don't be alarmed, but be a little alarmed because this team did not show up today, and FaZe starting to put the wheels together, starting to put it together, and they are shooting. The CEO and the CFO going to drop a 1.38 and a 1.3. When your ARs are moving like that on the map, Spoony can tell you, when Poooh is shooting, we are winning our CMGs in our games.
Absolutely.
Nope, we've never won a CMG, but that's besides the point.
Flash it. Yeah, 0-8.
0-8. Probably even higher at this point. When these guys are moving, this team is starting to get scary. And Aluka's probably going, man, I don't know where the spot is.
Yep. Yeah, especially after the week that, Draza just had. I mean, holy, we talked about it. The CEO is back in business. He's making the calls. He's setting up meetings. And he's got one specifically with Shotzi because Shotzi had such a bad series. Oh, my gosh. It was absolutely abysmal. He went 46-76. One of the worst series we've seen him have. And we know that historically he starts off a little slow, but this can't be happening. This cannot be happening. You can't be talking the mess at the beginning of the year and then not showing up, especially whenever you have such a talented team of individuals. But yeah, like you said, this weekend was super hard, super, crazy to predict. And Saturday was the best of the best, in my opinion. But my personal match of the day, and we talked a little bit about it before our segment here, but Boston, what is happening? I don't understand this team. It's so interesting to me because they go up 2-0. They're looking good. We're looking like TJ isn't the golden child, the golden boy for the Seattle Surge team. But then they go up into the map 3 and they get absolutely cooked the rest of the series. I don't know what's going on, but Saturday, man, you got to conclude the day with the Paris Gentlemates against Cloud9. This is one of my favorite series of the year already. I feel like this is the closest series we've seen in the CDL, I feel like, in a long time. But it goes 3-2, and not to shout us out again, man, but we did predict this match perfectly with a 3-2 in favor of the Paris Gentlemates. I mean, I know my reason why, but what made you think about going 3-2 there, Pooh?
Listen, I think this is a classic case of copying homework or the test answers and just you got it right. I think you made the pick, and I said, you know what? I'm going to full send, and I'm going to trust him with this one. The Cloud9 to me is a team, man, though, in all seriousness, that lacks the consistency. And we've talked about this, but sometimes they can show up and you're like, whoa, this team is a scary team. But time and time again, they're showing that they cannot close it out. They cannot seem to put it together, but they're putting up a fight. And it's something that I think if they can turn the wheels, they might be a better team. But right now they're sitting at 1-3. I figured that against a top 4 team like Paris, they were going to probably come out shooting, but not enough with that X factor yet to close it out. I mean, just look at the first hard point, 250 to 249. I mean, this is a team that right on the cusp. And I arguably think that Paris is one of the top teams in the league. So the fact that Cloud9 takes this 5, you're mad that you take the loss, but you're looking at it going, okay, we just took Paris to 5, very close, could have gone either way, especially in the first 3 maps. Let's figure out how we can put this together, team.
Yeah, I mean, this could have been a 3-0 if you really look at it. I mean, it could have been a 3-0 in favor of either team, but I really believe that it could have been a 3-0 in favor of Cloud9. I mean, it was 249 to 250, and Cloud9 had possession of the hard point, and they choked. They absolutely choked. I mean, we saw in the top 5 plays, Mac was absolutely frying, but he falls off the map in the last hill, and you can't do something like that against this Paris Gentleman's team. And they're just sitting in that corner, on that contest corner, on that last hard point. And it's I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they did it, but they did. And the map 1 ends 250 to 249, but Cloud9 easily should have won this map. I mean, we had Paris Gentleman sitting in a corner, in the contest corner on that last hard point, and it was absolutely crazy. Mac was melting. He's Mac melts in his prime. He was frying, and then he just falls off the map. I mean, what is going on? But hey, Cloud9, they go down 0-1. Then they go into the map 2 and they win it. So they're tied 1-1, and then the overload is 5-4. So it could have easily been a 3-0 in favor of Cloud9. So I agree with you. I feel like this team, despite their negative record, I feel like they're still fighting well with teams. However, their only win is against the Surge when they had Legends. So I don't know. I feel like they still, I mean, you mentioned it, they don't have the clutch factor. And so I feel like this team has a lot that they need to work on over the next couple weeks.
Absolutely. And that play there at the end to contest and hold it down the line while everybody's getting kills around you, that's a classic Poooh play. They took that out of Pooh's playbook, hide in the corner, wait for the teammates to come in and clutch up for you, and then take the credit saying you iced up for the win, man. But
yep.
Speaking of icing up for the win, I'm looking at Sunday.
Woo!
After a pretty incredible Saturday, and one that is one for the books already this season, we continue that momentum. And specifically, a team that needed to get some momentum going, I want to highlight here is Optic Texas. They get the perfect matchup after getting absolutely destroyed in an abysmal performance against FaZe. They're going to get gifted the Surge. And going into this weekend, they're probably like, that's a free dub. We're so good. But then you have a horrible match against FaZe, and Surge is going to get their first match win of the season. So you're going in going, uh-oh, hang on. We gotta kind of lock in for this. And let me tell you, Mercules, man, he says, hold my beer. Map 1, dropping a 2.1 on your head. This guy came out different to start, and they're going to continue that momentum, going 6-0 in map 2, looking dominant. Dash is going to go 9-3. Shotzi's going to go 8-2. And Shotzi, man, we talked about it earlier, going to drop a 0.6. A 0.6, right? He's going to double that. Not good. Not good. That's Poooh numbers, man. Come on. Then he's going to drop a 1.27 in this series. Mercules also leading the way with a 1.39. Again, I know it's Surge, but this is a team with Optic that thrives off of momentum. And so they got to get the ball rolling. It's going to be their Achilles heel this season. They got to keep these wins that should be wins to be dominant wins, and start really leaning into that when they play these top 4 teams. But a good match nonetheless, Spoony.
Yeah, I mean, it was a steamroll in that search, and that's what you need to see, because you got 2 searches and 2 hard points in this, best of 5. So you got to have those looking really, really good. And yeah, you got to see Shotzi step it up. We talked about it. He hasn't had a very good year so far. I mean, even if you're watching the Scump watch party, they were just happy that the guy was going positive. So I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's happy that he's going positive too. But another incredible match on the day was 3-2 Carolina over Minnesota. I mean, you got Craze versus his old teammate Mamba, and Mamba's going to be the only one going positive on that Minnesota team. I mean, you look at Skies, again, having a stinker of a series. It doesn't look good. I mean, they go to another game 5. I don't know what they're supposed to do. I mean, this was the same thing that happened last year. Minnesota has just been known as the game 5 merchants. You know how many points they missed out on over the last couple of matches because of these game 5s? It's going to be crucial towards the end of the year. I mean, Kremp is trying his best. I mean, he broke the hard point kill record with 54 map kills. Woo! That's 10 more than Afro had in his hard point with 44. So I don't know. We got to get this guy some help, but it looks like Mamba's trying his best. But these Esriel and Skies with stinkers, it was absolutely horrible to watch. But I mean, hey, you got to give props to Carolina. Again, they come out on the weekend 2-0 after their roster change. But, you know, when you really got to talk about stinkers, you got to talk about one team in specific this weekend. Hit them with it, Poooh. Let me hear it.
Yeah, man. One thing I want to say about the Ravens, man, this is crazy. The Rotate New gets to announce that the Ravens are undefeated in 2026. I mean, let's just make that the headline, that the thumbnail. Yeah. That's crazy to say. You know what else is crazy to say is that match of the day, Toronto Koi, LAT. We talked about how important it was for LA to come in and start off with a victory. And let me tell you, they started off just how they ended 2025. Another 3-0 for the Thieves, and another moment where Pooh's going, give me the dynamite. Let's blow up this roster. This team did not look good. This is not a super team. And call me a hater, but listen, Abizi dropping a 0.85. That's not the Abizi we know. You got Kenny. Listen, we'll talk about this more, but a 0.66. Granted, Shotzi had a 0.6 earlier, but Kenny is consistently putting these numbers up there. This roster just does not work together. And I got to tip Koi, man. This is not an LA team that, yes, they are on the downfall, but Koi came out hot. Insight dropping a 1.29. Joe DeCeve's dropping a 1.25. And even Kleenex and Real, they're taking up space on the map. This is a team that's starting to look really good. And honestly, if we're looking at rankings here, not even just standing aside, just power ranking. I'm flipping Koi in LA. LA's dropping to the bottom, man. This Koi team looking different, looking dominant. I mean, these matches, they're not even close.
Yeah, like you said, I feel like we all, you know, with a new Insight looking at this team, Insight popped off. I mean, he had the highest KD on this team. I mean, with a team of Joe DeCeves and Real, you're looking at Insight as the person to have the highest KD. I mean, again, this is like a ghosty situation. You have all these talented people around you, and then when you get the right teammates, I guess you just pop off, especially against, like, come on, you're shooting against Scrap, Hydra, and Abizi. I mean, these guys, they got the gunny.
And
let's
Kenny.
be honest. I mean, yeah, they got the gunny. No disrespect to Kenny. Again, I called it. I think he's retiring this year, but I called it. I said, this is going to be nasty. Another 3-0 in favor of Koi. I called it when Paris 3-0'd him. I called it again when Toronto, 3-0'd him. I feel like Neum is getting that call. He's like, hey, we need you to get over here. I don't know if people know this, but LAT practices in the same facility that Optic Texas
it's not a far walk for Neum. He's just got to go next door.
You just got to go next door. Exactly. So I feel like they didn't even, call him. They just were like, Neum, we need you to get in here. Okay, Kenny, he's going to retire in the next week or so. But no, I don't think they make a change before, the major one. But I feel like they definitely will if they don't perform well on LAN. And this is Kenny's last chance. I don't think he's going to get another opportunity if this does not go well. But, man, like you said, Koi, you got to give them their props. They are working out all of the things that they need to. They have looked absolutely gross since that Miami Heretics, blunder of a series. But, I feel like they really put in the work over the last couple weeks, and they're excited for what this team can do. But, hey, we talked about LAT a little bit. I feel like now is the perfect time to get into our new section of the show here. Rotate New. We do it every week, but let's get right into it.
Yeah, let's get right into it, man. And we're harping on LAT, so we'll stay on that. They're one of my teams that's got to rotate new. I just said stick the dynamite, blow it up. I think you're right on the money. I don't think this team is going to make a change before Major 1. But I'm sitting here going, at what level of complacency are we going to say, okay, this is fine, we're going to stick it out? Because if you're breaking top 4, sure, you're like, maybe we'll get it. It's LAN, it's a little different, but you're looking at 4 events this year, champs, EWC, right? at some point it becomes too late and you run into an optic situation. And honestly, man, if I'm LAT and I'm saying, okay, we're going to hold out this roster. If we don't win Major 1, blow it up. Blow it up. I mean, this is not working. We even talked about how the scrap and Hydra thing isn't working. At some point, I think this is going to be a two-man change. And I don't know if Neum is going to be the solution for this team or just a temporary hole. Something's got to give. Something's got to go. And the other team for me, man, I'm looking at G2. We talked about it earlier. Back-to-back Game 5 losses. Call them the reverse optic. I mean, it's
all the wrong ways.
Yeah. Listen, you got to get these map wins. You mentioned it before. At a certain point, these points are being left on the board. You kind of wishing there's like hockey rules with overtime, so you're at least getting a point. You're getting nothing. You're taking these 5s, and these 5s are ones that you should win. It's not like you're clawing way up. It's like you had it in the bag, and you're dropping it. This team has to figure it out, has to figure it together. Our boy Clean Joey said, hey, they're going to go back. They're going to never stop winning. I think they're just never going to stop. Unless they make a change, they're never going to stop with these Game 5s. They're not going to put it together. I'm really worried for G2, man.
Yeah, we need a new T-shirt for Clean Joey that they're never going to stop losing. I feel like that's the new vibe of them. Like you said, it's back-to-back Game 5s, and this happened last year. It might just be the G2 Minnesota curse. Maybe they need a brand reset like FaZe, because FaZe is looking pretty good. But my team that needs to rotate Poooh is going to be the Boston Breach. I mean, they have looked inconsistent, to say the least. I mean, they go up 2-0 against Vancouver, a brand new team. It's their first match with TJ Halley at the forehead of it, and they go up 2-0. It looks like they're gonna get 3-0. It looks like it's gonna be easy pickings, taking this Surge team apart. But I don't know if it's Boston blundering it or just the Surge being incredible. But hey, they just completely flipped the series on its head. And Boston, they didn't look good in those last 3 maps. I'm like, you can't leave Snoopy on the bomb getting killed in a crucial Game 5. I don't know what we're looking at.
What are we doing?
You got 2 people looking the same way, and then TJ's like, hey, I'll take a bite of that crumble cookie, no problem at all. I mean, it's just, they are definitely going to go back and watch the VOD on that one, and they're going to be looking at each other like, what's going on here? I mean, Snoopy, he's trying his best. I think he was the only one positive in that series, but it's just not good enough, and that's to my team. But we're talking negative about some teams here, Pooh, but I want to hear who you think is ahead of the curve going into this next week of matches. Who you're excited to see play, man.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for many teams. You talked about one of the teams in particular. You said brand reset with FaZe, and I think that's exactly what they did in 2026 to start. Granted, you're going up against Optic, and not only that, you've had such a gauntlet of a schedule. You played all the top 4 teams, and you're going to go 3-1. I'll take that any day if I'm FaZe. That's a great start to the season. We got to tip it. This FaZe roster is starting to put it together. People were hating on FaZe when it's like, have you looked at the schedule? I mean, this is not like, you're not playing Surge, you're not playing Heretic, you're playing the top 4 teams coming out and stomping on Optic, who's seeded number 1. I mean, it's impressive, and I got to tip it to them. They're starting to put it together. Aluka is probably arms crossed, sitting in the corner going, are you kidding me? Are you serious? Are you? Honestly, they got to get their visa issues figured out with him, so it's going to take some time. But still, this is a team that they're starting to put it together, and they're getting scary.
Yeah, I mean, I'd hate to say it because I biasly don't want the FaZe Vegas to be looking scary the way they are. But when you look at this team on paper, I truly believe that Abuza is a better fit for Draza than Celium, and I think that 04 is a better fit for Simp than Abizi was. I mean, you see how Abizi is doing on this LA Thieves team, and it's just not working. Sometimes you have players that complement each other's playstyles, and I think 04 and Simp are truly finding their rhythm. And Draza said in his interview, I mean, it's a brand new team, and like you said, there's the top 4 teams back to back to back to back. And so I think that they're doing an amazing job. And I don't think anybody truly valued how hard their schedule was. I think we all were just like ready to shoot this FaZe team in the foot and just call it a day. But personally, that's what I was doing. And I got to give them their props. I think that they did an amazing job over the last couple of weeks, really, bunkering down and figuring out some things. And I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with at the major. But my pick is going to be Carolina. I got to go with them. I am hot on this team. I don't care what it is. I don't know. I feel like this is the year that I'm going to just take a gander on one of these, teams on the, that don't normally pop off. But Exceed has been a perfect fit for this team so far.
Yeah.
And I know it's only been 2 teams, and both of those teams have been Heretics and G2. So those are the bottom of the barrel teams. But this is improvement. That's what you want to see. If they came out and they got absolutely smoked by the Heretics and smoked by G2, we would just be saying worst pickup, team is going to crumble. But I feel like they have a chance. They have some really good pace. I don't know what happened to that team. Maybe they heard Slasher talking trash about how the team didn't want to play scrims or whatever, but they looking good. So I think that they have a good leader in Exceed to be replaced to replace Slasher. Not going to be any on the level of Slasher at all. But you got the Burger King. He's ready to go. He's ready to prove himself this year. So I think that the Royal Ravens have a lot to prove.
I think they have certainly a lot to prove. I think Exceed has a lot to prove, which is probably why he's got this chip on his shoulder. We'll see how long the honeymoon phase of this roster lasts. Listen, I would love for the Ravens to start being a force to reckon with. They were a fun team to watch. They came out with some different pace. They're pushing the pace on that roster. I think Slasher, great player, but he doesn't have that pace that some of these guys have. So seeing what they can do, I mean, I think they're going to come up against some higher seeded teams this next couple weeks. So it'll be interesting to see where the chips fall for them going into Major 1. And that brings me to my other point. Okay, we're about halfway through for the first matches of Major 1. I think you and I have our obvious bias pick of who we think is going to take Major 1 and who we want to take Major 1. And if you're sitting here going, I'm asking you, Spoony, who do you think is going to take Major 1 at this point?
I think that I've got so many different choices depending on how the bracket plays out. But my number 1 pick has got to be Toronto Koi. I feel like they look super solid. And they've gone up against some good teams recently, and in scrims, I feel like they've been looking solid. But when Insight is your number 1 slayer in terms of KD, you've got nothing to worry about. Because on land, Joe Deceives is going to step up and fill the shoes that he always does. And Real, he's got another team that he can just, play comfortably with. And so I'm super excited for Toronto Koi. I don't know who they're going to match up with exactly. For some reason, I feel like, maybe Carolina and Toronto Koi in the grand final with the Exceed going absolutely crazy with the boomstick.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Toronto Koi is definitely going to take Major 1. And I feel like Optic is, unfortunately, I feel like they're going to bomb out. I feel like they're going to go top 6.
Wow. Yeah, man, I could see that. I think we talked about, the Achilles heel of the consistency. Is that team of Optic going to show up? I think Koi have certainly proved that they are a team to be reckoned with. I love Kleenex's comms, too, when you look at the listenings. He's talking like this, over there. One's in the corner. Like, it's like golf commentary, man.
Yeah.
I'm falling asleep if I'm...
Yeah.
In the corner. I think we're gonna challenge him.
Absolutely.
I mean, that alone, I'm like, oh, they're so zen. They're gonna win. They're gonna win at least the major. Who knows? Yeah, I'm excited, man. It is gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear your pick, Pooh. I need to hear what's going on in that brain over there, man.
Dude, I don't know. Something. This gonna be crazy. This gonna be a little crazy. We're throwing out my crazy throw out pick, man.
Yeah. Let me hear it.
I think that there are some players that have some chips on their shoulder. Specifically, I'm looking at, and this is kind of falls in line with the Falcons. Oh, I spoke. I said it a little too soon.
No, don't say it.
I'm gonna say it. It slipped out. I think the Falcons are gonna come different. I think the Falcons, they're not gonna win, but they're gonna get T4. I know that's as crazy as I'm gonna go. I think Pred is gonna come out and be a little bit of champs. Pred. He's coming out against. Essentially another Optic home major, and there's that chip on their shoulder, and if he's coming not just for the bag and with something to prove, those guys, when they can get going on land, Celium and I mean, that might be a little bit of a scary team. I mean, I don't want to piggyback off of you and say Koi, but that would be an obvious choice for me. I think, though, if Optic can get the consistency figured out over these next couple matches before we go into the major, and they do show up, they don't show up like they showed up on Saturday against FaZe, but they show up with the Optic team with that says, okay, we have to come out flying off the gate. I think they will steamroll the event. However, I haven't seen the trust that Optic will play with that consistency. And until that's figured out, I don't know. I do think, though, with the home event and the atmosphere that's going to be happening, they're going to be one to be reckoned with. And then you got to tip Paris and FaZe at the same time, man. FaZe starting to put the wheels together. You know that those guys, especially Draza, is going to go different on land, going to be smack talking. They have the stage set up. We got our boy Neptune over at Paris. I'm sure we're going to get... That's a scary team, man. I think if we're going to be honest, I think it's going to be Koi, Paris, FaZe, Optic, and the T4. Maybe my Falcons sneak in there in the mix, but I'm going to go with Optic. I do think Optic, they're going to be able to put it together and have the momentum of the crowd carry that consistency for them going forward.
Well, that seems like a great spot to conclude our episode there. I mean, we'll see who listens to our advice and who doesn't, but I would love personally to see that Optic versus Toronto grand final absolutely popping off. Greenwall is going crazy.
Yeah.
Koi is going crazy, but you know, it's going to happen. I believe it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, listening to our advice, our takes. It's been an amazing weekend of Call of Duty, and I can't wait for what's in store, Pooh.
Yeah, we got some fun matches coming up, continuing next week, man. 2026 is going to be something amazing. Don't go anywhere. We got our predictions for next week coming up on Squad Up with another esteemed guest. It's going to be lots of fun. Let us know in the comments who you think is going to be taking Major 1, what picks of ours that you totally disagree with or you agree with. But that being said, from all of us here at Rotate New, I'm Pooh.
And I'm Spoony.
We hope you have a good one. We'll see you next one.